Featherweight showdowns in the history of the sport. Had the Filipino hero emerged a few years earlier, or the British superstar stuck around a little longer? Hamed lost to Marco Antonio Barrera 2 months before Paquiao introduced himself to American fans by brutally dispatching Ledvaba in 2001. The Prince only fought one more time in 2002, leaving hardcore fans to wonder what would have happened if he'd clashed with Paquiao, who later emerged as an elite-level featherweight. The fight will never be more than a dream, but the appeal is obvious. It matches two charismatic and engaging personalities who evolved into transcendent boxing superstars.
I was amazed at the speed and power together.
Two of the most exciting television fighters of the past 25 years.
He's seen the skill of the Prince and the strength and the ability and the accuracy and the speed.
Two authentic knockout artists with more than a degree of vulnerability themselves. Press like a notification bell and let's take a look at our opinion on this cross-generation dream fight. From the day he captured the WBO featherweight crown in 1996 until his early 2002 retirement at 28 years, Naseem Hamed effectively was the featherweight division. His brass style and bone-crunching power made him the division star, and when Hamed crossed over the Atlantic from his British base to begin fighting on HBO, he became the big money fight for everyone toiling away at 122 or 126 pounds. When Paquiao turned 28 years old in December 2006, he was a 3-weight world title holder. The Filipino icon was coming off his second stoppage victory over Mexican legend Eric Morales and was already a sure-fighter lock for the Hall of Fame. But the amazing thing is that he was just getting started. Since that time, Paquiao has claimed recognized governing body titles or Ring Magazine championships in 5 more weight classes. Hamed turned pro in 1992 as a junior bantamweight, but was at bantamweight and junior featherweight soon enough. He won his first world title as a featherweight in 1995, thrashing Steve Robinson in Cardiff to take the WBO title, which was then still a lightly regarded organization.
The dream now is to become a legend.
He made 4 successful defenses, then unified by taking the IBF belt from Tom Johnson in 1997. Later that same year, he'd give up the IBF belt and also have maybe his greatest fight, an absolute war with Kevin Kelly at Madison Square Garden, with Hamed winning by 4th round knockout.
Both guys throwing home run shots now. Down goes Kelly again.
He made further defenses of the WBO belt against Wilfredo Vasquez, Wayne McCullough and Paul Ingle, before again unifying, claiming the WBC belt from Cesar Soto in October 1999. In 2001, having relinquished the WBO title as well, he faced Marco Antonio Barrera in Las Vegas. Hamed was the favorite for most, but Barrera was too gritty and well-rounded and took a 12-round unanimous decision.
Marco Antonio.
Hamed would fight just once more, beating Manuel Calvo in 2002, before never fighting again. Hamed, who faced Barrera in his penultimate fight, was nowhere near his best when he dropped a unanimous decision to babyface assassin in April 2001.
I should have never taken that fight at that time, and I spent 7 months out of the gym.
For a dream match with Paquiao, we would require a fully functional, fully loaded, fully motivated version of the Prince from 1997. In that year alone, The switch-hitting Hamed won 5 world title bouts, all by knockout inside 8 rounds, and unified 2 126-pound titles along the way.
Naseem Hamed knocked out Kevin Kelly.
Naz would use his body almost like a contortionist. Then he would clock you with a shot when you had no idea he could throw from that angle. It's almost impossible to overstate how important trainer Brendan Ingle was in the career of Prince Nadeem Hamed.
Come in here at 7 and 7 days a week, never miss.
Naz was the perfect pupil for that style in the same way that Kaz D'Amato had several successful fighters, but Tyson was the perfect pupil for his style. Naz is very high on the list of greatest featherweight punchers. In fact, him and Paquiao are the 2 biggest punchers ever at 126, along with Sandy Sandler, Alexis Arguello, Azuma Nelson and Juan Manuel Marquez. Those guys could punch, but Naz was a huge puncher and he'd only lost once in his entire career. There were times when fighters were getting to him, but he just walked them onto a counter shot and changed the fight around. Paquiao is a powerful puncher, but you have to rate Hamed as one of the hardest punchers ever in the featherweight division. Paquiao is always looking to make you uncomfortable, and because he's always looking to engage, his strength is a factor and he's a puncher. He wants a firefight, and most of the time his speed beats you, and that's exactly how he scored wins over Barrera and Morales. They have the Mexican mentality of fighting, all heart, toe to toe, and they won't back down. But Paquiao was not only powerful, he had the speed behind his attacks.
And the brave heart of Manny Pacquiao has the knockout.
From the very beginning of his professional career, Hamed was cleaning house with an unconventional mix of athleticism and power punching. 18 of his 31 knockouts came inside 3 rounds, and that's an ominous statistic for any prospective opponent. Also, despite being floored on several occasions, Hamed was never stopped and furthermore, never seriously hurt. With that said, Hamed never faced an opponent of Paquiao's quality. Paquiao's relentless aggression at featherweight was reminiscent of the legendary former 3-weight world champion Henry Armstrong, although the Filipino's hands may have been even heavier and he was much quicker of foot. Paquiao could close the gap in the blink of an eye, so Hamed timing an effective counter might be easier said than done. Style-wise, you have a couple of flashy, quick southpaws with pretty unique approaches to their craft. Paquiao would get better and better for a while, adding more seasoning to his game and having to adapt against naturally big foes, but again, at featherweight, he was still largely relying on his natural gifts.
Uppercut again and he puts him down again.
That's not to say he wasn't already a really good fighter, but he certainly had some notable flaws. Hamed, of course, had them too. He could be a little arrogant for his own good, although most of the time that arrogance was backed up by the results. While they do share a common opponent in Barrera, and around the same time period, 2001 vs Hamed, 2003 vs Paquiao, styles make fights and their drastically different results against the same man probably don't mean much head to head. It's not like Pacquiao's gonna go fight like Barrera did against Hamed. The result of a cross-generation dream fight obviously comes down to opinion. If you see dozens of fights featuring one champion but only one or two of the other, then it would pay to do a little research. Paquiao is still active, whereas the Prince fought his last fight in 2002. Paquiao is almost universally revered, whereas you either loved Hamed or you hated him.
Do you know anybody in the history of the sport that did what Prince Nadeem did? I ain't trying to brag.
One thing is for sure,